Hi there, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor. Thank you for joining me. We're going to do another mini block out of the book, 130 mini quilt blocks. Some of you have already got it. I hope y'all, if you've looked, you can find it. A lot of people have bought it on eBay or Amazon. Susan Briscoe. Okay, we've done quite a few blocks. Today we're going to do the single Irish chain, this one. There's other versions, double chain 1 and 2, but we're going to do this one. Only 2 fabrics. I'm going to give you the dimensions. Go get a piece of paper and pencil. You only cut 3 different. And when I show you my layout of the pattern, take a snapshot of it if you know how on your whatever you're watching me on. If you don't, just put your phone up to the computer and take a picture. And then you'll know exactly how to sew the pieces together just by looking at the layout, because it's very self-explanatory. And then I've made 3 more to go with it, and I'll show you how we're going to put it together and make a bigger block. These little blocks are hard to make anything with, except maybe a mug rug or pot holders. But adding 4 of them makes a good sized block. So we need to get started so we can get this done. Single Irish chain. Let's get our dimensions down before we do anything. You're going to, out of 2 fabrics, your lighter fabric, you're going to cut 4 1.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to put the I'm going to put the picture down so you can see. This is the 1.5 by 3.5. Everything is 1.5 squares, or 1.5 by 3.5. Okay? Using your dark fabric, you're going to cut out 4 1.5 by 3.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of the same fabric, of the dark, you're going to cut out 4 1.5 inch square blocks. 4. Then of your next color, you're going to do 9 1.5 inch little blocks. That's it. Okay, let's go through it one more time. Write this down. Of your darker fabric, for this particular way of doing the block, 4 1.5 by 3.5. Then of the same fabric, 4 1.5 inch squares. The lighter fabric is 9 1.5 inch squares. That's all there is to it, okay? Then, common sense tells you this is a 9 patch right here. You see it? You do that first. Make your 9 patch. Just put this over. Now, these are small, and you're going to have a very scant 1/4 inch seam. And I achieved that on my machine by putting my needle over one measure, one slot to the right, And I know exactly where to put my, excuse me, fabric on my sewing machine. When you call it a scant, it's actually a thread less than 1/4 of an inch, probably, if you want to get technical. Okay, we're going to sew this row. We're going to sew these 3 together, these 3 together, then flip them this way and sew them together. Make your 9 patch right here. Then you will attach these 2 pieces right here. You will press between each and every row. Press this one good. Press your darks towards the dark. Press this row real good after you've got it done, and press this row. Then when you flip it over and sew it together, you should be able to match your seams real good. If you want to pin where your seams meet, that's okay. And that you will achieve your 9 patch, and then you will have this attached to the top. Then you will just attach these 2 to your 3.5 inch piece. Sew, flip them over, sew, flip it over, and press. Do the same on this side. Then you will attach it on the sides, and your block is finished. Now this is the layout, and like I said, I'm going to show you a picture of the layout. You be sure and take a photo of it, snapshot or photo. And then you will never question how to make it. You don't need the pattern, honestly. This is what it'll look like finished. That is your little 5 inch square block. 9 patch, top and bottom, and the sides. That's all there is to it. All right, I'm going to sew my 9 patch, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, it works so much better if you will take the time to pin your seams together, because it made a world of difference. I did this the best, and this is my 4th one, so it just makes for better sewing, okay? Now, next step is this, and then this. There's the top and the bottom done. Now, if you have fabric that has to be turned a certain way, you'll have to keep that in mind and always keep it the right way. But mine, my flowers go every which way, so I'm not stressing over that. Okay? Now I'm going to sew these 2 on each end and sew them on. And everything fits perfectly if you've got a good 1/4 inch seam. Everything just works so nicely. Here's the 2 pieces sewn together with the dark in the center. Now I'll sew it to the sides. Here's our finished block, just as cute as a bug. I recommend that you use this when you're pressing, because it's just really hard to get. There's a lot of seams, and it's really hard to get them flat. But this helps. It helps a lot. Now, I'm going to put it down, and we're going to see if we've got 5 inches. And I know y'all can't see that, but it's just darn near perfect. 5 inches, and that's just the importance of doing a correct 1/4 inch seam. Now let's play around with our blocks. I better put it down there. I made 4 of them. This is our 4th one. I have 2 with the darks, and I have 2 with the lights. And all you do is just reverse. Whereas on this, your lighter one, you had the 9 different little squares. But on this one, it's the blue that are the 9. So just reverse. Just reverse your colors. And then, oh, I want to show you. See the difference between using that best press and using this? It's just not laying flat. It makes a world of difference. Okay. If you had just a whole bunch of these, but let's just say, let's put the darks opposite and put our lights. And isn't that a beautiful square? A block for your quilt or your table runner or wherever. It really took no time at all to make these 4. I mean, no more time, I don't think, than making a big block. But I know a lot of people don't want to work with these little bitty pieces, but I'm kind of getting used to it, and it's fun. I like it. So anyway, I'm going to sew these together. Now that you've learned the block, I'm going to sew them together, and we will look at our, I think it's going to be a, well, if they're 5-inch squares and we take a 1/2 inch all the way around, they're going to end up 4 1/2. So I think we're going to have a 9-inch block, but don't count on that. We'll see. I'll be right back. Well, here it is. That looks black on the camera, doesn't it? But it's honestly navy blue, but it does look black. But isn't that beautiful? Now, if you were going to make a quilt, you would, you could either alternate, well, you would make your blocks like this, but then you could turn the next block. But I think it's just pretty to just do it like this. The darker ones right here, and the lighter ones here, and just keep doing that. But if you wanted to play around with it and make a quilt, you could probably come up with a lot of different designs. It is 10 1/2 inches. So finished, your blocks are going to be 10-inch blocks. A good size for a quilt. This would make a darling baby quilt. It would make a wonderful lap quilt. Whatever you want to do with it. So, thank you so much for being with me today, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed being with you. God bless you and take care.